1. Introduction. Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about a curious habit in Japan, why Japanese women often cover their mouths with their hands when they laugh. If you're from another country, you might wonder, well, why do they do that when they're laughing? Maybe you've noticed it while traveling in Japan or watching Japanese anime or dramas. This little gesture has a long history and some deep cultural roots, and lately it's even starting to change a bit. We'll spend about 12 minutes exploring this topic from different angles, so stick with me until the end. Let's get started. 2. Tracing the historical roots. First, let's go back in time to understand where this habit comes from. In Japan, there's a period called the Heian era which lasted from 794 to 1185, about 400 years. Back then, the aristocrats, the rich and powerful people, had a rule: don't show your emotions too much. It was considered elegant to stay calm and quiet, laughing and showing your teeth. That was seen as rude or unrefined. In famous books from that time, like the Tale of Genji, women are described as graceful when they keep their feelings hidden. Covering the mouth helped them look polite and classy. Later, in the Edo period from 1603 to 1868, married women had a custom called ohaguro, where they dyed their teeth black. Since their teeth were black, they didn't want to show them, so covering their mouths became more common. But here's the thing, no one sat them down and said, "You have to cover your mouth." Over hundreds of years, it just became a natural habit, like a reflex. Third, Japanese social rules and the feeling of shame. Now, let's talk about how Japanese society works. In Japan, people really value living together peacefully. There's this idea of not embarrassing yourself and not bothering others. For example, talking loudly on a train is a big no-no. It's all about keeping things calm and polite. Covering your mouth when you laugh fits into this. It's a way to keep your laughter quiet and not show too much, so you don't draw attention or disturb people around you. Especially for women, there's been this expectation to be gentle and refined, and this gesture shows that. Psychologists say Japanese people often feel shame about showing big emotions, so putting a hand over the mouth might be a way to hide that feeling. But here's the key: most women don't. "Oh, I need to cover my mouth." It's not on purpose, it just happens. 4. How it becomes a habit. So, how does this turn into a habit? A habit is something you do without thinking, like playing with your hair when you're nervous or biting your nails. In Japan, women pick this up when they're little kids. Imagine a girl watching her mom or grandma laugh. They always put their hands over their mouths. She sees it over and over, and without anyone telling her, she starts thinking, "Oh, that's what you do when you laugh." I know a Japanese grandma who does this every time she giggles, and her grandkids probably copied her without even realizing it. It's not something teachers say in school, like, "cover your mouth." It's just watching family, friends, or people around you, and slowly it becomes your habit too. In other countries, habits are different. Like in America, people might clap their hands when they laugh. In Japan, covering the mouth just stuck. 5. Changes in modern times and younger generations. Let's move to today. This habit is actually starting to fade, especially among younger women, teenagers and people in their 20s. You'll see more of them laughing with their teeth showing. Why? Well, the world's gotten smaller. Movies from Hollywood or videos on YouTube show people laughing big and loud, and young Japanese people think, "that looks cool." Plus, in Japan, getting braces to fix your teeth has become really popular. A survey from the 2020s by the Japanese Orthodontic Society says almost half of young people are happy with their teeth now. Back in the day, some hid their mouths because they didn't like their crooked teeth, but now they're confident to smile wide. On TV or social media, Japanese celebrities laugh openly, and it's becoming normal, way different from the 1990s when covering your mouth was everywhere. 6. The difference with older generations. But if you look at older women, like those in their 50s or 60s, they still do it a lot. They grew up in the 1960s and 70s when the rule was, girls shouldn't laugh too loudly. Back then, parents or teachers might say, "Be quieter." And even if no one told them to cover their mouths, they saw their moms and aunts doing it. It became their habit. In a 2021 survey by the NHK Culture Research Institute, about 70% of women in their 20s said they don't cover their mouths when they laugh, but only 40% of women in their 60s said the same. That's a big gap. It shows how the time you grow up and shapes your habits. But again, it's not something they decide. It's just what feels natural to them. 7. Summary. Let's wrap it all up. Japanese women cover their mouths when they laugh because of old ideas about beauty from the Heian era, social rules about not embarrassing yourself, and expectations for women to be polite. But the big thing is, it's not a rule someone taught them. It's a habit they picked up naturally, like how you might twirl your hair when you're nervous. Kids see it, copy it, and it sticks. Nowadays, though, with global influences and more confidence about teeth, younger women are doing it less. Teens and 20-somethings laugh with their teeth out, while older people keep the old habit. This little gesture is like a mirror of Japanese culture, and it's changing with the times. A closing. Thanks for watching all 12 minutes of this. If you're interested in Japan, I hope this gave you a fun peek into its culture and habits. Next time you're in Japan or watching a Japanese show, maybe you'll spot this and think, "Oh, I know why." If you liked it, please subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you around. Feel free to leave a comment like, "What do people do when they laugh in your country?" I'd love to hear. I'll keep bringing you more cool stuff about Japan. So see you in the next video. Bye for now.